Hello everybody, Ed0626 back again here on the channel. Thank you for stopping by. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to hit subscribe and hit the link tree in my description to follow me everywhere. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about today's video. You know, since I've been playing Battlefield all the way back since 2016, there's always been at least one map that's rubbed me the wrong way. In Battlefield 4, it was Flood Zone, or as I like to call, the failed abortion of a map. In Battlefield 1, it was Prise de Terreur, which wasn't really my favorite of the bunch, and quite frankly, I thought there were a lot of really great Battlefield 1 maps. So the fact that that one wasn't one I was a big fan of is definitely saying something. And in Battlefield 5, my worst enemies were Al Sundan and Hamada. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Battlefield 2042's maps are, at best, average. At least when it comes to the base maps. As the seasons have progressed, I have found that the extra content we have gotten from these maps have been more enjoyable to play than the actual base maps themselves. Even with the reworks. Like, the reworks are okay, it adds a little bit more cover, but it doesn't really do a whole lot, because bad map design is bad map design, and adding a little bit more cover so you don't get shot as frequently can only do so much, in my opinion. For this map in particular, there's a feeling I have about it that I can only describe with one singular video. So allow me to show you this feeling I have about Redacted in Battlefield 2042.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Yep, that pretty much sums it up for me. That map is utter fucking trash. It's, in my opinion, the worst map we have gotten of the bunch since the extra content started. And I'm talking all the way dating back to Exposure. Like, Exposure was a great map in my opinion. Stranded was a pretty good map. Spearhead, a very good map in my opinion. Flashpoint, average. Reclaimed, had really great flow, but had its issues in my opinion. And it seems as though Redacted is just a fucking shit show. So when I first saw this map being talked about on YouTube by all the big YouTubers that obviously cover Battlefield content, they were saying things along the line of, oh, this is like a mixture of Operation Metro and other maps that were infantry focused from past Battlefields. There's a lot of focus on infantry in here. It's a fun map. You can get to places pretty well, so on and so forth. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I fucking hate this map. Like, I don't mind Operation Metro for the shit show that it is. I don't mind Operation Underground for the shit show that it is sometimes. Hell, I don't even mind maps like Argonne Forest or Suez or any of those, well, not infantry focused, but linear maps. Okay? This is what this map is. It's a linear piece of shit, in my honest opinion. And I know people are going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? This is a great map. We haven't had an infantry-focused map. It's the first one. Give it a chance. I tried, man. I was streaming this map for a good couple of hours when I was working my way up to being affiliate on Twitch, which I've hit now, so you can go follow that in the description as well. As I'm playing with my buddy Hollow, we felt basically the same about this map. It's very choke pointy, and there's not really a whole lot of room to move unless you're really fucking smart. And even the areas that you could maneuver around to are also choke pointy. There's areas around like the center of the map, I think it's by B flag, that gets very choke pointy. There's other areas that players cover all the time that you could basically trap an entire squad down there if you have a really cohesive team that knows what they're doing. You know, there's so many narrow hallways on these flanks that it pretty much prevents any kind of movement no matter what you're trying to do. I was under the impression that this map was going to be very maneuverable. And the only maneuverability I have seen from this map has been like those really fun little zip lines that are on, I don't know where they are, but they go from like one edge of the map to the other. I think there's like 2 or 3 you can get on. And I really like those things. They're really fun to ride, but that's about as much maneuverability as you're going to get for the most part on the map. Oftentimes, most people aren't really paying attention to that part of the map anyway, so it's pretty easy to kind of just go over and zip line a couple of times and kind of work up a little bit of a flank. That's only if you're highly competent. Now, I'm not saying I'm not highly competent, but I've certainly done my best to try and use those techniques as well when every single other doorway leading up to portions of the map are fucking completely blocked off by some asshole spamming incendiary grenades, smoke grenades, other types of grenades. Like, I made a point when Reclaimed came out. I made a point about grenade spam and how the grenade spam in portions of Reclaimed was unbearable. And it was mostly on that little bunkered off section. I think it was the D flag that I was talking about. That area gets pummeled with grenades. In this fucking map, everywhere gets pummeled with grenades. The only time you really ever get like free from grenades are the B and C flags. And even then, the B and C flags are incredibly hard to maneuver around, in my honest opinion. For one, the cover on those maps, not that I don't appreciate good cover on the maps, but when you're trying to search for fucking enemies and you can't find them because the capture points are too fucking big, in my honest opinion. Like, those capture points are way too goddamn big on those open sections of the map where it seems like you're outside, but you're technically not. I'll get to that in a second. So, like, those woodsy areas. B flag is, I run around that flag 50 different times trying to find one guy and I still won't see him. And he's either hiding really fucking well or I'm really stupid and probably a fucking mixture of both, to be honest. But I think that capture point needs to be toned down a little bit. It's way too fucking big for the amount of cover that's on there. C flag is also really confusing to me, man. I just don't like the way that portion of the map is laid out. And that's just a personal preference. Like, other than that, the rest of the map is virtually unplayable because it literally plays the same. It's choke pointy. You're basically having to put every single guy into moving out one area of the map, or moving the enemy out of one area of the map, I should say. And by then, you've already lost your gimme flags. So now you have to go all the way back to go get those flags, if you can even find the guys on them, because sometimes they'll maneuver out of it, sometimes they'll stay on the flag and they'll put like spawn beacons and shit there where guys can just spawn and keep spawning. And it'll be a real pain in the ass in the long run of the game, which is also a pretty good tactic if I say so myself. Not that I've used it, but it sounds like a pretty good tactic when I say it out loud. And I have seen it been done a handful of times. So then there's that. You're fighting over this massive portion of the bunker to get to like the B and C flags. And it's ridiculous, dude. That's where most of the really, really shitty grenade spam comes in. Like, I just don't even bother moving around the map anymore. Like, I'll just stay on one portion of the map, or I'll try and find a choke point to get through and just slowly but surely pick apart enemies that are, like, not suspecting me to be there to the best of my ability. And it's tough. Like, it's not fun. Like, once you start getting grenades thrown at you, like the flame grenades, the smoke grenades, which already fucking cover way too much and you can't see a goddamn thing when they do pop up, it's a pain, dude. I really hate that fucking map. I really do. That map just inspires awful, low IQ plays for the most part. And if you have a solid enough team, which most of the time in Battlefield I don't, at least in this game, when I get this map, it's not going to be fun. And I'm just talking Conquest. I'm talking just Conquest. It's like this. Breakthrough is even worse. I absolutely hate this map on Breakthrough. It is abysmal. I tried maybe playing 2 or 3 games on Breakthrough, and I always was the attacking team. I never was the defending team. They always put me on the attacking team, and the attacking team gets fucked over so bad in this map. It is not fun whatsoever. And maybe, again, it's subjective experience that I'm talking about here, but I do not have competent enough teams to try and take the flag or try and get to the flag. It's a mess, dude. This map is just a clusterfuck. It really is. And the grenades are really what makes this map probably the worst map in the game to me. I thought maps like Discarded, Breakaway, even Renewal were bad. This map tops them. Hell, this map tops Hourglass as a bad map. And that's saying something. This map tops Hourglass. So that's all I really have to say. I don't really think I need to talk more shit about it than I need to. I've kind of gotten to the point here. But I'm highly disappointed in this map. And if this is the last season that we're going to get, which seems like that might be the case for the time being, I haven't heard anything that suggests otherwise, and I could be wrong, so do not take my word for it. But if this is the last map, what a way to go out sad. Like, honestly, the first infantry-only map in the game, and this is what you give us? A fucking worse version of Metro? That's what it is. It's a really shitty version of Metro. Like, Metro is Metro. It's an iconic map for, depending on who you ask, the right or wrong reasons. But I think this map tops Metro as some of the worst gameplay you can probably ever have. I struggled getting gameplay to make this fucking video. I might not even have enough gameplay on this map to finish a video with it. I might have to take it from other maps that I had decent games on. I can't have a decent game on this map. It's just bad. It's just a really shitty fucking map, in my opinion. I will say this much though, the coolest thing about this map is it's technically the first ever Battlefield map to be completely inside. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's literally an entirely indoors map. If you go to like those big bubble orbs by B and C, it's technically indoors. So that's pretty dope. That is a pretty dope statistic there. But the map still plays like fucking shit. See you guys on the next one. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have some other opinions that you'd wish to share, leave them in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think. I will see you guys on the next upload. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Unless you're throwing incendiary grenades on this map, then I hope you suffer.